What's happening, everybody?
Hello, hello, hello.
We're live now. What is up?
This time, nothing happened behind the curtain, and I think that's a very positive thing.
True. I see we got Erica Gloom in the chat. What is up? We have Oscom in the chat. That's great. Glad that you're with us in both places. But yeah, welcome everybody to the Decentraland Builder Contest number 3 announcements. And we have our awesome panel of judges with us today. 2 new friendly faces, or friendly face, friendly avatar image of a falcon of sorts. But we have Ckbubbles here with us, and then also Fractilians joining the judge team today. So welcome both, and thanks for being on.
So happy to be here.
Thank you guys for having us.
Yeah, of course. So I know we're excited to get into judging today, and we've got Mariana, a previous placer in one of the build competitions. So we'll have to look into or dig into, how that made you feel placing in one of the competitions. Maybe you like it more on the judge side or the creator side now. So that'll be interesting.
Oh, and look at that. We're getting rated by Mr. Fourbet. I don't know if that's a French guy.
Are we?
Fourbet sounds French.
Shout out to Mr. Forbeth.
We were talking about the French population and their involvement in the metaverse last week, I think. So Oscom, it looks like you must have pulled something good off.
Bonjour à toutes et à tous. Bonjour baguettes, croissant.
But then, of course, we've got Tangpoko on here as well. How could we do one of these without her?
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. And then Oscom and myself. Oscom, how are you doing today? Are you ready to get into some good conversations and judge this latest competition?
This is a leading question, Dcl.Curations. Of course, I'm very ready to have great conversations today. Very happy to be here, and thank you very much for your time. This is a massive panel. I'm just seeing on the screen we have so many different things happening there. That's super exciting. Thank you very much, Ckbubbles, Mariana, Tangpoko, and Fractilians for your time. And let's get to you guys. What did you do today? Was it a good, productive day so far? I know for some of you it's very early in the morning. How are things going?
It's good. Just, busy working, doing a lot of cool stuff. Excited to be here, though.
I'm on the West Coast. It's probably the earliest for me at 10 a.m.
Wow, that's crazy.
I know, right?
That's crazy. Yeah, I wake up at 1 p.m. these days. Fully honest. Getting tough. Maybe as an introduction, because Tangpoko and Mariana, I think the people know you. You can do a quick introduction later, but Ckbubbles, who are you? How did you get in the space? Maybe do a short introduction for everybody who doesn't know you.
Yeah, hi, I'm CK or Ckbubbles. I'm a creative director in advertising, a nail artist. I've done some wearables in Decentraland, some builds. I now have land. I'm going to be creating some nail art experiences very soon. But all around, I just love to connect community and try to help further the progression of Decentraland. So that's a little bit about me.
Yeah, and I want to emphasize CK is doing so many different things within the space, and I think it's super exciting, and I'm sure she will have a lot to, or they, sorry, I'm sorry. They will have a lot to say on this topic a bit later in the conversation. Fractilians, what do you think?
Oh, hi.
Who are you?
Who am I? I don't even know. Well, I'm a builder, creator, and I just, when I came into the space a couple years back, I helped out with events and got sucked in that way, and then started participating in the DAO. And more recently, about 3 months ago, I'm part of the Decentraland DAO facilitation crew, and I'm helping share the story of the community and the DAO. And as I think Ckbubbles, Muddy, and I'm also DCR reporter for almost a year now, and part of that crew. And I love what the community's doing, and such a big heart. And I just love showcasing all the amazing ingenuity and creativity that I'm sure you guys all see all around you. And right now I'm actually in Bogota. I just went to the opening of DevCon. It blew my mind. It was so cool. And I'm now in the cyberpunk dungeon downstairs working away. So I'm so happy to be here, and I love what you guys are doing. Thank you guys for having me.
The cyberpunk dungeon. How does that look like?
It's cool.
That
it's
sounds very
huge.
exciting.
It's actually really chill. It's like the chill zone where everybody comes to work, and it's all cyberpunk themed and just with tables everywhere. And I'm here with a bunch of the Decentraland DAO crew working away. So it's nice, really nice.
What was the most interesting thing that happened so far in there? I suppose there were a lot of conferences and things happening.
Well, I was actually part of a hackathon for the first 3 days I was here, and that's the first time I ever have been part of a hackathon. And I really, it was so cool to be around like that creative energy, like in real life. Cause also I usually get to, talk about people doing, but to be in a room with a bunch of other like crazy creatives and building, I had a blast. And so that was my like so far the biggest, coolest experience, because the conference just began. So, tonight, Meta Party's Decentraland funded party we're going to. So I'll definitely be sharing videos with you guys. So I'm stoked for that.
Are they providing all the material? Like, are they providing all the screens and things, or is everybody just coming with their own material?
I think they got funded through the DAO. So we're just going to go there and enjoy the party. So, yeah.
And everyone who does attend gets a free wearable. So if you guys come to the party, yeah. So
I know Mariana put it on the radar. I was like, hell yeah! So I'm stoked to be there.
Yes, so I'll be there watching it all night.
Woo! I'll be there. I'll take videos and share it with everybody.
Yes.
I think Slater just rugged my stream, but that's okay.
What did he do?
I think he went back to streaming his thing. But what time was that event today?
It's going to be streamed into the Decentraland at 9 p.m. Eastern.
9 p.m. Eastern. Doing my time zone
8
calculations.
p.m. Central.
I know.
Yeah.
If it's 8 p.m., it's like 8 p.m. in Bogota. So
yeah. Okay.
Yes.
But okay, awesome. I will be sure to attend that.
Yeah, it should be on the event page somewhere on Slater Reed's screen.
It's not like I have anything else to do in real life, because that's not what I do anymore.
You're not allowed to do anything, Creations, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna message you at 8:45. You better be here with me.
I will be here. I will be in this place. I'm ready to rock. It looks like there's a couple of cool events that are coming up. Wednesday is always great with Mr. Sweet.
Oh yeah, Mr. Sweet, yeah, it's great.
And then I think one thing notable is the Metaverse Music Festival here. Just curious, who all attended the one last year? Did everybody here attend?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was awesome.
CK and I are the newbies. So.
I know. I'm like
you'll
so
love it.
excited because I can't.
It's great.
It was great.
We are aware, okay?
Yeah, but we'll have our memories this year, and then we can see it next year.
You guys are at like every event. I feel always like I'm missing out when I watch what you guys go to. I'm like, I miss that too. Ckbubbles and Mariana. I think you don't sleep. I was just telling the crew here. I'm like, they're the most active humans ever. I need to like not sleep and catch up.
That's the secret. No sleep.
I sleep though. I get my 8 hours. I have to.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Amazing. I feel like I'm definitely not getting 8 hours. The Metaverse Festival, I remember last year was the first time that I dropped a wearable. So I really have that kind of in my memory, how nervous I was about dropping the wearable. And it was the first time I'd ever done a Twitter giveaway. And I think it took me like 6 hours to like make all the words right and hope that I didn't mess it up. I was super nervous for that Metaverse Festival. But I think it's when I first really started feeling like there was a community in Decentraland. Before that, I was just kind of wandering around by myself, kind of exploring alone. But so many memories were made at that festival and so many connections. There was all of a sudden this immersive experience that we were all a part of, that you felt that community spirit. And for me, it's been different ever since that Metaverse Festival.
Yeah, it was exactly. That was beautifully put. I totally agree.
What was it like? What was the first wearable you did?
I did a pair of black boots and a little black skirt and a little black corset with neon laces. It was one of the first really sexy outfits in Decentraland.
I think I remember that. And it was quite noticeable. But it's interesting. So prior to that, you were walking around lost.
I spent a lot of time playing free play poker in Tamanoia, like a lot of time.
It's not a bad place to spend time and meet people.
Yeah, it was. They're a great community, and it's always nice to go and kind of party with them again and remember that was my roots. Like Sauce and Spicy and all those guys. Those were the first people that knew who I was. And I used to walk around with like a big mohawk all the time.
I was thinking, being lost, kind of like our Sandstorm Builder competition theme.
What a segue. Wow. Masterful.
Man.
And imagine all the experiences and memories people make just entering all those competitions every time. I mean, that's something that bonds people together, I'm sure.
Exactly. You come here for a lost competition and now you're found.
Or you're even more lost because then you get into the Metaverse kind of rabbit hole.
Oh,
you never get out.
Sure. Yep.
That's just how it goes.
Yeah, I'm in a literal Metaverse looking space. I'm like, how did I end up here?
How did you discover Decentraland Fractilians? What were your memories, like most noticeable memories?
I had such similar memory. I remember the first time I went was like I was listening to Meta Key, and like it was at an event where like I was the only one who was like, help, I can't hear anything. And Jorge, who was just a community that I ended up helping and doing Decentrafund, doing a bunch of stuff with him, he was like, I'm streaming, come listen here. And so like the community right away, me being lost and I was wandering around, somebody helped, and then right there it was like that beautiful experience of connecting with a community. And ever since then, I've been sucked down the Decentraland rabbit hole. But
how is it like these days as a community support squad? I think you're in, right? That's how it's called.
I think it's technically, I guess, a facilitator. I don't even know. I know the facilitator squad crew. It's been wonderful, really, meeting all of the hardworking, amazing people behind the team. And then also one of the main reasons I wanted to come to Bogota, it's just so great to meet. I'm here with the crew, actually meeting them in person. I've learned so much because I mean we're all have such different strengths, what we can bring to help support the community. So for me, it's great to learn from everybody, and I just feel like the luckiest person to get to actually like reach out to these communities, these grantees building, and actually get to connect with them and share their story. It's just been like, it's like me in the candy shop of awesome. Like I'm just stoked. And also as a creator, I love building myself. I love learning. And so it's been a magical kind of combination of all of that. So I feel blessed to be here to serve all of you guys.
And Slate Trade, make sure to go on Twitter and show off the Decentraland DAO Twitter account, because I think what you're doing with this is amazing. And I really like the content you put out. So big shout out to it's DCL DAO. Yeah.
Well, we're trying our best, and it's like I'm always encouraging everybody, like, you know, everyone's here for the love of Decentraland, and that's what it's really great to meet everybody and get to spend time with them, and you know, I wouldn't be here if there wasn't heart. I really wouldn't, you know, and I think a lot of you guys feel the same way, like, so thank you. And
100%.
We're here and any ideas, always feel free to reach out to me. I'm always wanting to showcase, share, because there's so much going on, and like I'm sure you guys feel the same. You're always missing stuff, so yeah, I'm always open, and Discord, Twitter, just any stories you think are important, I'm here to share.
I think there's a lot of power in these kind of community-made Twitter accounts, because it really it transcends the love that you guys have for the community and for what you're building. And just listening to your friends, I mean, you're transmitting so much energy, and I think you really find the same energy just looking at this Twitter account. You really find the Fractilians in there, just being so excited about everything that the people do. And so I'm really appreciative for your work. I think it's awesome.
And I appreciate very much. I just have to give a shout out, Mariana and CK. You both are so eloquent. I love it. I'm learning from the both of you. You can express yourself so beautifully. So it's definitely a place where I go back to and listen to you guys all the time. So it goes back and forth. So thank you both.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I was just about to like tout you up and talk about like
Right?
how knowledgeable you are and how much you are just like hungry for information. And I love when we get to have those conversations about something that, you know, you'll share a link with me and tell me a little bit about it. And I'm like, wow, I don't even have time to think about this stuff. And I'm so thankful that you share those things with me and that we get to have those conversations. So thank you.
Oh, thank you.
What about you, CK? How did you discover Decentraland? What were your best memories?
Oh my. I feel like I tell this story all the time, but I came in through a Grimes concert at the end of Metaverse Fashion Week, end of March of this year. So it's been about 6 months now. And then I fortunately, from just enjoying that experience so much, started wandering around, you know, lurking, like wondering what was going on here. And, you know, I'd seen a bunch of people just running around and stuff. So I knew that there were people and communities probably. But I found baby dolls like a few days later, and Tang, you know, and everybody there, and everyone was kind of chatting with each other, and it was the first time I really was like, okay, I'm gonna just say something in the chat, you know, in the text chat, and
I remember that.
And see like who says hello, and Tang, you said hello, and I had actually. You had been in Wondermine, like I think a few days before that, talking to other people, and I think I followed you on Twitter because you were talking about baby dolls and what the baby dolls is, and so I kind of knew of you when I went to baby dolls, and so when you said hey to me, I was like, okay, this person I know is like at least exists outside of like a bot, because I didn't know if anybody were bots or not or whatever. And just by you being approachable and welcoming, and then, you know, Absolute Land was the follow-up.
And then there was Absolute, and that's what I really remember you, CK. You were like on that blue banister the whole time, like morning to night, just like hey, bringing the party. We loved you.
Oh, well, I loved it. I mean, I got super addicted to Decentraland really early on, and I think we all in some way do once we find our sort of place here in our community. And so I, you know, those were my early days of just like partying with the baby dolls, you know, and Absolute Land. And I remember we shed a bit of a tear when it went away, and
never refresh
lifestyle. But yeah, and then it just kind of snowballed from there, and it's been a really wonderful, amazing time full of opportunities.
That's funny. Never like you don't want an experience to stop, so you just never get off. Like I think it's interesting because I've logged in on my laptop and then also my PC. I'm typically on my PC, but like a while ago I was logged in on my laptop, and I have these Decentral Games pants which you can level up, and last time I was on my laptop they were green, and now I don't even have them in my account anymore. But every time I log on my laptop, I'm wearing that outfit with those pants. And so I'm like, okay, I guess I can just never log out of my DCL account here or something. But it's really weird. Like I'm stuck in a certain time space, like a version of Decentraland whenever I go on my laptop. I have no idea how it happens.
Finding bugs on stream, ladies and gentlemen.
It blows my mind, but no, it is kind of cool if you're like, yeah, I could run like this maze or play this game like 1,000 more times if I don't refresh my browser.
I think that's awesome, and I think those kind of experiences where you have those vivid memories really lead to a lot of conversion. I mean, you all said you had this one memory or this one experience that kind of sticked with you, and that's why you kind of wanted to get more involved in the space and be more active. And that's how, you know, you get from just being in one specific experience that's very cool to being a daily user of Decentraland. And I think that's where we can do a quick transition to the theme we wanted to talk about today. And I think, you know, there's been a lot of drama recently with this one article saying that there were 38 users in Decentraland, and I'm sure you have seen all the memes and everybody's talking about it, milking this meme on Twitter, and I think that's great. But I think the real question that underlines this statement is, how do we get more people interested in Decentraland and using the platform on a daily basis to get them to engage with the people? And I think here there are two questions that come up. First of all is the community building question that we kind of talked about last week. And the second thing is, how do we go from doing this very specific experiences like a party, like, you know, a specific game, to making more compelling experiences that can go more mainstream and not just compelled to a specific niche where everybody would be, oh, I want to discover this, I want to get in there and try this out. What is your opinion on that specific topic?
I'll start really quick. So I would say what I'm doing now is I'm going into my own personal networks first. So for example, like I'm doing this, I just partnered with my city to bring more Web3 awareness. So my plan is to start small, bring companies from Cleveland into, you know, the Metaverse, then including Decentraland, but then also, you know, my community of business people in LinkedIn. So I think we're all responsible at this point as a community to, you know, bring, you know, use our networks to bring them into Decentraland. So that's how I'm starting. And I think that's what the community as a whole needs to do is just, you know, start small, you know, from the personal side, but then also, hey, let's create content, you know, on TikTok, Pinterest, Instagram, and bring in more of the, you know, viral engagement from the world. So we just all need to do a better job of just, you know, marketing Decentraland for Decentraland.
I think it's really interesting. Like on that note, like it's interesting because anybody in Decentraland can be like a real estate broker, or anybody can be like just an absolute closer and make deals. You know, you have this entire metaverse, and it's like you don't need any permission. You can just go out to other companies and other individuals and be like, "Hey, want to be interested in Decentraland and maybe buy some land? Like, I'm happy to broker that deal. I'm happy to take 3% off of your $100,000 land purchase." Like, so I think that is really key. I feel like a lot of people might not feel as empowered, and they might feel like the responsibility lies with a particular group. And it's like, oh, why aren't these other groups that have brought in, you know, Samsung or Netflix or Snapple? Why isn't that group bringing in more? They should be bringing in more. It's like, no, I mean, like everybody can do it, and everybody is free to profit, you know, in the situations that you do, and it's successful.
I think it's really important too to find our personal stories and be able to reach out to the mainstream and share those personal stories that are going to appeal to a broader audience. So like, you know, like CK, you've got a great story. Mariana, you've got a great story. We all have something that attracted us here. And if we can kind of spin that into a tale that resonates with people outside the metaverse as well, I think that you can draw people in that way.
Well, you don't think I have a good story? I got a good story.
Boring.
Yeah, I think. Oh, is it okay if I go? I didn't know if you could hear me.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
No, this is definitely like, this question is really one of the main reasons I wanted to come here to Bogota. Like a couple things before that, it's like one of the things I want to do is I work with IRL Art. We actually were funded by the DAO, and I want to do ETH Denver Metaverse side event, Build-a-thon, definitely. So invite all the metaverses, Decentraland included, and it would be so cool to just have a Build-a-thon of like, and welcome all the builders, everybody to have bounties. Exactly what I experienced. It would be wicked to just do it across Metaverse, avatar interop, just like explosion of creativity, like, and what they did for the hackathon I was a part of, they actually had travel grants for people, and they had 2 hack houses for them. So I think making things accessible so people can get in and start building and learning about that amazing community is really cool. And also again, connect with more build-a-thons, and also connect with more of the dev community. So many people, when I presented, because I presented the build, they were like, I'd never seen it. They knew of Decentraland, have never been in it, or they'd never heard of Decentraland. So there's a huge community still, even within the Web3 space, that has never actually been to Decentraland. And then really coming to this hackathon, my goal was to see how I could creatively use the metaverse and integrate it into a project. And it was cool. It was cool that they recognized it and actually gave us some prizes, and we were shocked. We were surprised, but there is people are excited. There's a lot of people still don't know, and for me, another huge thing is educational component. Like I really want to. One of the key things of what I built was everything I built would be CCO downloadable, included with exercise files for teachers. It would be packets of education so they can use in their classrooms to like building, filming, events, all of that stuff. Because I mean, the Roblox generation gets it, and I want to create stuff that it brings that huge onboarding of community that will come and build.
By the
Yeah.
way, this is just jumping in real quick. I'm sorry. This is something we're also looking into, this entire CC0 stuff for the contests. Of course, we'll talk with the community about this if they agree or not, because at the end of the day, it's the artists' IPs. But that's something we want to do, is to open source all the different assets that are made for the specific contest, because I think that's a great way to just give credit to builders and to just, give more interest to these competitions outside of just, the pure fun of learning, but also being able to just give it access to the entire community, that they can just take the fountains, for instance, that we'll see today, and put them in their plot of land, which I think would be great. So we'll see. We're working on this.
Awesome.
I kind of like your idea. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I like your idea about doing real life and virtual events, like getting people actually together in real life as a form of onboarding into the metaverse as well. I think hybrid events are really a good way to introduce people to Decentraland. The first one I saw was at Absolute, which we were talking about before. It was a little bit of a hybrid event where people at Coachella could talk to people inside Decentraland. And you're starting to see it more and more, from stuff like watch parties to simultaneous events that are being streamed in real life as opposed to the metaverse, or in addition to the metaverse. And your hackathon seems like that'd be a great idea as well too, right? Getting people together in real life, and then introducing the metaverses and all the different metaverses, like you were saying, together.
Love it.
Yeah, I think like on the entire storytelling arc, the metaverse that really went this way, like hardcore, and built their entire brand or the entire experience around this, is VR chat. And I think I had a quick discussions about VR chat in the last streams, but I also talked about this with Fractilians off stream. I think it's such a powerful platform because it showed just how much a format, just a YouTube format with a creator interviewing random people, letting them tell their story on their own terms, and since it's anonymous, you have like the worst stories that come out, of maybe the most beautiful stories that people don't really allow themselves to share in real life because they're scared of, like judgment and stuff like this. And I believe there's a lot of empowerment in these kind of stories, these traumas or very personal things that people are willing to share in this digital environment that are unique. And that's really what inspired me within VR chat. And I think that's a way how Decentraland could also have more utility in a way, and that's why these content creators are super important. Like every single person that's very active in the space creates content, creates these kind of opportunities of chatting, and gives highlight to unique peoples and stories. So I'm looking forward to that. If somebody does this in the future, I'll be a watcher for sure.
Fractilians and Oscom, you both sort of mentioned something that is like a bit of what I'm trying to do, and I'm definitely not the first person to do this, and I hope I won't be the last one, but sort of branching out to adjacent communities, especially in other metaverse platforms, I think is going to return more people to Decentraland and keep them active. And we've seen a lot of that with Baby Dolls did the crossover with Spatial for Art Week, and then that sort of evolved. We do some Twitter Spaces on Thursdays, and we've had Hi CC on from Spatial, who's talking about everything spatial, and we're letting people from different communities ask questions. We're going to have some Mona friends on, including Fractilian very soon, who understands that space. So it's like these people are already in these worlds, they're just not in Decentraland yet, and I think it's such an easy jump for them to say, hey, I want to explore a different one and see what it has to offer, especially when someplace like Decentraland being decentralized and having really it's the one place you can kind of do everything, right? Like some places focus a little bit more on building, and that's great, but you can build, you can do wearables, you can host events, there's so many things you can do here. And so I think it's a really good way to sort of bring in more people.
Yeah, and totally agree. And one thing, Gia, when I met with her from Grant Support Squad, she said something that I thought was really beautiful and important, is like, we want the experience of people who, when they come here, especially like the devs and the creators, to feel enriched, empowered, because everybody's going to be building in multiple places. So like, how can we all like support that experience, bring them and be like, hey, let's go here. Like, it's just like that level of like support and stoke is so important. And I love VR chat, and I know a lot of builders there for the last like 3 years. I've been a part of that, and it's beautiful to bring them on and showcase what's happening here, so you can bring that amazing talent that I've seen within VR chat.
I think it would be really cool if we did like Decentraland raids on other metaverses. You know, like it would
Yeah,
be,
love
you know, instead of like just like I know a lot of people meet up for like DCL tours and things like that and kind of raid around Decentraland. But if we have, you know, like 50, 100 people just hop into like a sandbox experience,
let's do
make sure
it.
we, you know, like crash their game or something.
Yeah, like in the past I did cross in the past, like I did cross metaverse adventures. So we should totally just do metaverse hops and like
Yeah,
go from crypto
kind of like
to
kind of like a
That's
pub
genius,
crawl. Kind of like a pub crawl. Can we
Yeah.
be drinking while we do it?
totally,
Oh my god, that's
each
hilarious.
each
Yes.
metaverse is a new drink theme or something.
Oh
Yeah,
my
you know?
god, let's make that happen.
There's a pub in every metaverse, and you need to drink from every stand.
I think you
Is
just
there-
you just created the idea of a new show.
Yeah,
That's like
Meta
gonna,
pub
like,
crawl.
Are we
I-
doing this?
super fun.
We are so doing this.
I think we're doing this.
I'm
We're so
related
doing this.
to pubs. I did want to say that the Thursday spaces I mentioned that I do with Shelly and Dino, they are now evolving. You may have seen that on the events page when you were looking at it earlier, but yeah, so basically Shelly, Haisisi, and I are now 3 co-hosts of something we're calling the Metaverse 3, and we're actually going to be doing that. We're going to be going into other metaverse platforms and bringing people in from those worlds and having them like show us around and show us different builds and spaces and talk about it and learn from it. Maybe not with beers in hand because it's noon Eastern, so that's a little early in the day, but yeah, I look forward to exploring more with more people.
Sounds good.
I would love to transition and ask something else that's not prepared. So sorry if I put you on the spot here. But
No, we love it, Oscom. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I know you love my questions. No, I'm really curious because I'm thinking there is a big problem right now, which is with the amount of different platforms that are used to onboard or advertise. And I think it's interesting to get an opinion on, like, you guys are doing spaces, you are doing live events.
Estamos usando uno, no, todavía no. Si no lo pongo aquí, lo
Okay,
boto después.
Fractilians.
Oh,
I think she was ordering a drink.
no, estoy hablando en español. I'm doing it aquí. Perdón. Sorry, I was speaking in Spanish. Sorry, I'll mute myself.
Okay. You see, my question sucked. I'm sorry.
What was it again?
No. Yeah, my question is, so you are doing Twitter Spaces, you are doing live events in Decentraland, live, things. You are doing these shows that are on Twitch as well. Maybe some content on YouTube. How do you view the fact that there are so many different platforms that are used to onboard on Decentraland? And do you see a world where in the future Decentraland would be itself a streaming platform on its own without needing these external things to onboard users? What's your point of view on that?
I think from my perspective, one thing that's interesting is that Decentraland does have a lot of subcultures and subcommunities, and we've talked about that a lot. And I feel like the amount of platforms or various spaces that are being hosted is kind of a reflection of that. And so I think that, especially right now, things seem small because there are all of these different kind of isolated groups, but all of those groups are simultaneously growing. And I think at one point it will kind of converge, and that's where you will see like that tipping point in Decentraland. But then again, who am I to say?
Drop the mic. No, I'm joking. Any other opinions? Mariana, Tangpoko.
I think it's just a matter of time. Sorry, go.
No, go.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah, I mean, I think like even like myself, Gold Guy, and Alpha, we always talk about this, like we need to have a Decentraland just internal platform, right? But obviously that all takes time, and yeah, it'd be cool to see like just a one-stop shop of like a social media platform. So
the thing I've been thinking about behind this question is, remember the NFT craze, the good times where all the projects were pumping?
I mean, like a couple of months ago.
Yeah, it was back in the day.
Oh my gosh,
a long time ago. No, but I think one very interesting marketing concept was when projects started to close Discords off. like they would do raffles where people could enter, and then within the Discord you didn't know what was happening, and it was like closed off, and they were doing announcements in there or events or something, and then they kind of reopened it to the public, and then it kind of recreated a hype wave, and then they kind of closed again and recreated community. I just think this concept is interesting, and if you convert it to Decentraland, it would be similar to, you know, you're doing these Twitter Spaces, all these different events to get people in, and then you close it off, and then you create habits within the ecosystem, you know, like weekly things or events and transition. Yeah.
I feel like that would be very comparable to what kind of Sandbox is doing with their alpha passes and stuff, right?
Yeah, but there's another reasoning behind this. Like, it's not. But yeah.
I guess from the Discord perspective, I think that, and with NFT projects and the fact that 99% of NFT projects are like trading at 0 ETH right now, kind of shows that that's, you know, maybe not the best approach to take. But I feel
no,
like
but I mean, this is unrelated. Like, I'm just talking how to create habits and how to create community. You know, like the projects, I mean, most of them were scams, and the field was, you know, doomed to fail due to product design. But I just was introducing other concepts.
Yeah, no, and I think it's an interesting like marketing concept, because then people are wondering. It's like that FOMO that we all feel if we miss a Decentraland event. But I don't know. That's interesting if you were to take that and apply it to a Decentraland situation. Any other thoughts on that? Should we close off Decentraland to current users? Or to only current users?
No.
Like, I don't even want you guys in here anyways.
No, there's been a lot of concepts talked about, you know, people sort of creating their own sort of spaces and spin-offs using the servers, the Catalyst servers. I don't fully understand everything about that, but in theory it makes sense, you know, that you can sort of create your own sort of space with the Decentraland sort of coding as the basis for it, and then you can link people to that. And so instead of us all being in this like main centralized area that we all run around Decentraland, we create our sort of offshoots based on just our builds or whatever we want to do. So maybe there's a future in that. But
yeah, that sounds very VR chat-like, right?
Mm-hmm.
That sounds really cool. Like I guess the VR client technically would be that, and also that pixel one. I remember Gino was talking about it. The pixel-based Decentraland, that'd be so wicked.
Yeah, the 2D one is great.
I just think of the cool creativity and what would be possible within there. It would be interesting to see.
Agreed.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting things with closed off communities. But yeah, maybe Dcl.Curations, we can transition.
Yes, the transition time is here. So we're probably going to run a little bit over, but I know CK, you have a bit of a time limit here, so we'll try to be quick. We had some amazing submissions this contest. It was the Lost Fountain. So Slaterade, oh my gosh, the amazing
what a transition.
Yes,
look at this
seamless transition. I didn't even realize. So we're going to play obviously all of the submissions that came in kind of here in the background, and would just love to hear from all of the judges. What did you think? I guess maybe we can start with CK. Make sure that you get some good talk time in before you have to drop, and then Fractilians, since you're the two new judges on the panel this time. But in general, what did you think about this builder competition theme, and then what did you think about from a judging perspective, and was there anything specific you looked at?
Yeah, fountains was a really interesting category. You know, I wasn't sure what to expect coming into judge, and so when I got all the links, I was like, oh, I'm noticing a theme here. And it's really cool. You know, you don't, I guess, think about water architecture too often in a space, and how much you can have an opinion on it. But I had a lot of opinions. I mean, there's some really great entries here. A lot of ones, you know, I would have loved to have seen what they look like in Decentraland, because as much as they are beautiful 3D fountains, I'm not quite sure what it would look like in the DCL space when you have to sort of keep to the poly counts and everything, but a lot of cool sort of interactions, features. I mean, the water on that one was really sick. That was just up there. My voice may not sync with the visual for people, I'm not sure, but yeah, a lot of great ones. A lot of cool people that I didn't know about building and creating in 3D. So for me, that's the most exciting part, is I get to be introduced to new people and their art, and follow them, and hopefully get to see them in future competitions and building in Decentraland.
Yeah, I think that's something we have been working on, like with the people actually deploying to Decentraland, and that was a big condition for the contest number 4, for instance, because they had to create an island, and I don't know if you saw those missions, but they're absolutely amazing. I mean, next contest will be very good. So yeah, that's something we're definitely working on, and we'll also ask people to send screenshots of their deployment in Decentraland going forward, so that way that's like completely clear. But yeah, Fractilians, what did you think? Is she there?
She's speechless.
She's muted.
Well, it just jumped in. One thing I really... Oh, there you are. Go ahead.
No, it just stopped. I don't know if did you ask me to go yet or no? I can wait. Sorry, I didn't know what.
Yeah, go ahead, Fractilians.
Oh no, I agree with what Ckbubbles had to say, and also it's just always fun. I loved how in this one, and most of them were showing how they were actually deployed within Decentraland, because that's definitely where the challenges rise. Like, you can do this beautiful thing in Blender, and then you're like, oh, it won't actually work at all the same way. And actually having to do a build that I just did, I had to do a gigantic parcel, just to show. But it was really fun, because that's something a lot of times, especially if you're onboarding new builders, they haven't experienced it. You want to make that experience a nice one, because it definitely is going to have challenges, right? I'm sure all these builders here know what that can be like. But I really love seeing the creativity and how they also presented was really cool and interesting. And of course, seeing it within the build. And I would love to see it on an actual parcel I could run around in. I want to go run around. I want you to have a parcel where you can now take all of these and we can go in and run around. That would be epic.
I think, yeah, that's some feedback that we had gotten as well, and we're thinking, for future competitions, now that it is a 100% requirement that you must include at least video of it being deployed, maybe we can just use a test environment and potentially deploy all these items so the judges can actually run around in the test
it's so
environment.
fun.
Oh, that's a great idea. That's a great idea.
Yeah, that's when you really can see what it's really about. And they're like, oh, I can jump in the fountain. Woo! I'm totally
I want to do that.
Bring your bathing suits, fountain party.
I do love a good pool party in Decentraland.
We can have a fountain jumping party from one fountain to the other, Like,
I love that.
That's content.
Are we talking about a pub crawl again? Because I
yes.
Fountain
Pub
crawl.
and fountain crawl.
Yes, there's alcohol, Tangpoko. There is.
Don't you worry.
No, I think the way it will work is we will set up a GitHub account for Sandstorm, and we'll put different assets in there. And I think for the past competitions, if the builders agree, we'll ask them to make it DCL compatible. So it won't affect the judges for the specific competitions, but we'll just ask them to edit those assets in a compatible way, and that way we can deploy. But yeah, I think great feedback. That's cool. I mean, we're already kind of doing these integrations with the podium, live podium that you will see later. So if anyone entered the competition right now, get into Decentraland, because we'll showcase you within the plot. And yeah, that was the first step, and I think the next steps will be to have these kind of assets done, and I think having our social hub as well finished, which should happen in the next couple of weeks, will be exciting too. Yeah, any thoughts, Mariana, Tangpoko, on the assets in general?
I like the variety of themes from there were some food related ones, then there was are they called gargoyles? I think that's what they're called.
Gargoyles.
That's what they're called, right?
Yeah.
To sci-fi, and then more just luxury fountain. So yeah, from the range of the actual idea, or I guess the originality really was amazing this round. And then as well as like the different kinds of submissions from, I like seeing like a lot of the DCL deployed fountains to kind of just see what it would look like in world, as well as some of the animations as well. So no, everyone did great.
I really like the juxtaposition from last week's entries, where they were all very serious, showing the engineering of things, and less fantastical, to this week's, which was just like letting your imagination go wild. So I really enjoyed having to judge one based on technicals, and then this one.
Good job,
more
DC
about,
Creations. Good job.
I knew I'd get a theme that Tangpoko loved.
I really did love this one, and it sounds like the next one's going to be awesome too.
I also just want to add, I love the sort of like narratives that some of these had, whether it was like the VO they put over the YouTube video submission, or even in the description of their post. There were some really fun ones.
Yeah, I agreed. I love the audio of this one. It was great.
Yeah, I think it's great. And shout out to, I think it's Erica Bloom or Vivi Cryptos, one of them, who are also posting time lapses of their builds, which I think is super good content. And
I think that's Vivi Cryptos.
Vivi Cryptos, sorry. Yeah, I encourage any builder who participates in those contests, if you want to have like free content for your social media accounts, just record your process of doing stuff. It's just super addictive to watch, and yeah, just very recommend. We'll share this.
Yeah.
I think I watched that video like 5 times already, maybe. Like really cool. like you said though, Oscom, like if you're already creating this this Blender item, might as well just screen record it, and then it just takes a little bit of time lapsing and trimming after the fact, and then you've got a video that hundreds or thousands or maybe hundreds of thousands of people will view.
Can you guys hear me?
And we got Fractilians again.
I got booted. No, I totally agree with that. Like actually, like the little music video I did was a whip. Like all my recording, because I always try to record because I know I'm going to probably use it for something. And it's, if you don't start from the beginning to do it, you're going to be like, oh, why didn't I record when I was initially brainstorming? And it's just, I totally encourage builders to do it. And there's what I use is, there's tons of them. There's a free one, Descript. It's so far worked nicely for everything, but use something, even if it's like each time you start for 5 minutes, you'll be really happy you did that, because later you'll have such great content, just like what you were saying. It's fun.
Yeah, and also you can look back at how you, I think just also for posterity, it's super cool, because let's say you keep improving and you keep learning new skills over the course of weeks, then you can watch back 6 months later on how you were building 6 months back, and you see, oh, I did this so badly.
Yeah, I know. You're going to be like, so I can watch my cringe stuff. It's like, oh, so cringy.
Yeah, exactly. That's really it. Shall we jump into results?
I do think so. 7 minutes on the clock. How many will we get through? Based off of our work last week, that would probably be like 1. But 1 second here.
Yeah, sorry, I'm talking too much. I'm asking too many questions. It's my fault.
Yeah, you're too good of a host, Oscom. Stop it. But all right, let's hop into the contest winners. So again, we place top 5 people for all build competitions, and in 5th place, Slaterade. If you would like to show the video, it is the Chrysis Fountain, which I'm pretty sure I actually Googled this, and it's like the Fountain of Gold, or there was a god, and that's the god of gold, and this is his fountain. I believe that's what that was. But this is by Guillaume. Oscom, that might be a name. Guillaume. Congratulations.
From Commented Labs. Congrats.
From Commented Labs.
Fuck,
yes.
My mic fell off.
I feel
so
like
good.
They might have placed in like every competition so far. But yeah, so judges, what did you think about this one? What stands out to you here?
Well, I love that the water turns into coins. I think that's great.
I do like that. That would be nice.
I mean, it's a great model. It's a great lighting. It's great lighting. It looks good. They obviously know exactly what they're doing. And yeah, I just like the fantasy aspect of it, that water pours in and gold coins come out. I loved it.
I think this one would have massively performed if the gold coins were mana tokens.
Oh my gosh.
I think this one-
opportunity.
That's
Missed
that-
opportunity. Always
they
pander
made-
to the judges.
I'm
if
sure
they
can
made
redo
this
it.
slight change, they would like this would be
That's
top one.
that's
I
a
think.
really, really good point. I didn't even think
Oscom.
about that.
That's
Marketing
what we were
genius.
before. Yep.
Who else? CK up
Yeah.
next.
I really like this one. I think, even though we don't see what it looks like exactly in DCL, you can kind of envision what it might look like in DCL. And I think that's like for some of them that didn't have that option, it was harder for me to like, what is this exactly going to look like? While this one still like was a cool concept. Again, I love the water to coins. I love the suggestion of it being a mana coin instead. So yeah, I just thought it was really cool. I love the textures.
The gold guy agrees and says he loves gold.
You know what it makes me think of? Somebody needs to come up with a emote of the wishing well throwing the coin into the wishing well emote.
Yes.
That's not a bad one. I don't think I've seen that yet. Yeah.
And I would go to all the fountains and throw the mana coins into each one of them.
That would be interesting if you could actually do that. I heard that they then come and like sweep up the coins and actually clean it out, and that the like Italy or Rome alone makes like tens of thousands of euros or whatever. Yeah, just off of collecting the coins at the bottoms of fountains.
That's
and I was like,
crazy.
that sounds
That's
like you
crazy.
shouldn't be doing that. But
So
anyway,
now we need fountains in Decentraland for people to throw their mana in.
Yes,
We're gonna
donate. Donate
put
for
the
a good
donation fountain in the
Yes.
Sandstorm hub.
Totally.
like
I love
that
that.
that
That's
might
a good
work.
idea.
Donate
Donate
my
to a
God.
good cause.
Yeah.
But
Not a bad
Mariana,
idea.
what did I think? What CK went, Tang went. So we have Mariana and Fractilians left.
Yeah, I enjoyed that model as well. I think I thought we did see a Decentraland deploy of that one. But yeah, no, I love the animation. I mean, it was simple, but like gets the point across like, hey, water's turning to gold. Great materials. I think Ting had mentioned the lighting, so yeah, really well put together.
Yeah, no, I like how it made me think of exactly after you said the mana and the lighting, the textures, the balance of that, and yeah, running around in that one would be a blast. I want to do the emote. Maybe that can be my challenge because I've never designed an emote, so I'm gonna do it.
Oh, I love it.
We might have a contest for that coming up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, of course you are. Look at you.
It's great.
Ooh, I get the alpha.
The alpha. It's live. It's on stream. You gotta watch.
But yeah, in general, awesome build, awesome design. Mariana, yeah, I thought we saw it in DCL as well. Maybe that just wasn't in the final video. But congratulations again for 5th place to Guillaume and Commented Labs.
And look at us. We did this entry number 5 in 5 minutes. That's great.
This is a record for
This
us.
is
Go.
a record.
Let's
Pretty
keep
good.
this pace up. Slaterade on to winner number 4. Drum roll. Brrr. It is Yuri. Yuri, congratulations. This is the gargoyle. And as you can see, it is deployed in Decentraland. And I'm not going to lie, for some reason, when I saw this one initially and I saw the first part of that render, I was thinking, I don't know what that's going to look like in Decentraland. And then it looks like the exact same in Decentraland. So I was like, wow, okay, that looks really good. But judges, what did you all think?
I thought the same thing, Dcl.Curations. I'm like, okay, I wonder what this is gonna look like. And then again, I really love when the creators show a awesome, put together video on their Twitter and their YouTube, like, hey, this is my animation. Now let me show you the story of it, how it came to fruition, and now here it is in Decentraland. So that was one big bonus for this one. In addition to the water animations, we all know water animations is really hard and tough to do in Decentraland. So really great use of that animation as well as the texture and even like the flappy wings, right? So nailed that one as well.
I love the flappy wings. I mean, you'd never
Right.
see stone wings flap like that. So I thought
Right.
that, I always think that when you're doing stuff in the metaverse, you got to do something to make it meta. I don't want to see an exact digital twin. I want to see something that defies physics or something that, just puts that magic into it. And I think he did a great job with this.
I agree. I actually, when I saw the first rendition of it, I was like, oh, I exactly see how that's going to work. It was just like the water was the only thing I was like, okay, the water is going to be different. And then when I saw it actually in DCL, I was like, oh, the water's not that different. Wow, this is really good. And again, I love the fantasy of it, like everybody else said. I love the glowing eyes and sort of like red glowing underneath that gives it this very like haunted, magical feel. I don't know. I really love it.
It is October, so maybe that it's just on par with that.
Yeah, this would be a really great one if he'd done some work in progress to see how he did it. For me, as as a builder, I would have a blast watching that. And of course, I love Ghostbusters, so I thought of Ghostbusters and the creature, the dog creature. In that, you guys, nobody knows Ghostbusters. I think it's 1 or 2.
Oh, I remember this. Was he like in the fridge?
Yes. No. Yeah. Exactly. Yes. I'm like, you guys.
I've seen that one.
Come on. He's like the infamous dog creature that comes out and like he reminds me of that. I want him to run around and chase me.
He scared me. He scared me
Yes.
so bad when I was little.
Yes, me too. That's why I remember him. Like, oh, it's that monster.
On the topic of Halloween, we are actually doing a Halloween party with Cyberkongs at the end of the month. So
great.
that's something that will be very cool. What are your thoughts, Mariana, on the asset? I don't know if you kind of chatted about it already or not.
I did.
But you did. Sorry, my bad.
Okay, come on.
Yes. Okay, listen. This is a current problem that I have very often. Sometimes I just space out and I forget the last 5 minutes.
But matter if you Oscom.
Don't admit that, Oscom. Don't admit that live.
Don't worry. 5 minutes from now, he's gonna forget he said that.
All right, 3rd place, guys. Let's go to 3rd place.
Yes.
Okay, go.
Third place, Slaterade. If you can go to 3rd. It was titled The Lost Fountain. This is by Rizk. And I thought this was really, really cool. I'll let the other judges go first, though. Mariana, you want to kick us off first this time, and Oscom, can forget so
you can remember, right?
Yeah.
So I think I actually ranked this one as my 1st place winner. So I was very impressed with the storyline, like the way that it entered into the scene kind of gives you like a story to it, right? You see the animated water again, the fountain. It's literally a fountain that's lost in the middle of nowhere, right? And then them redoing that scene into Decentraland, like an actual huge scene of this fountain is what got me as well.
Look at this. Risk is also in the chat. And by the way, Risk, you're top 3, so come on in and Decentraland. We'll get you on the podium.
Congratulations. Later. Yeah, but huge fan.
He's saying, I tried to make a full render from Decentraland, then I applied it in Decentraland and made this comparing renders. So great stuff. I mean, super creative.
Really Risk really nailed it. So definitely my favorite.
Yeah, that's awesome. Tangpoko, Fractilians.
I liked it a lot. I thought the whole island was beautiful. I love a environment that really sets the scene. I was a little confused at the end of the animation with the fountains going up and down in Decentraland, but I thought this part was amazing. Or was it in Decentraland when they were kind of showing the fountains going up and down? No.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe so. What was confusing about that?
Oh no, I was confused.
I just thought of it as like dancing fountains.
Oh.
But all right, noted. In the future, sometimes things confuse Tangpoko, everybody.
Oh my god!
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Note to yourself: don't do dancing fountains.
But Fractilians, what were your thoughts?
So I'm just curious that when they show the next view, that was actually the deployment in Decentraland, or am I getting that wrong?
Can we see that part? Because I don't see it anymore.
I think it happens in a second, right?
Oh.
Or no? That's what I'm wondering. Like, yeah, this one.
Yeah, right here.
So this is actually the Decentraland deployment.
Yeah.
Next to that. Oh, okay, cool.
Oh.
Can you go on the Decentraland deployment and stop the video?
Yeah, I think I saw a video where it was kind of where the fountains were isolated and they were kind of showing the movements of the water going up and down, up and down. No, maybe you guys didn't see the same animation that I did because it was kind of an addition to this.
Oh.
Yeah, that was the part I found confusing.
Yeah, it was in a Twitter post. The
Mm.
actual. I mean, yeah. I think it was clear.
Oh. All right, well,
Starting.
I'll remember that, Mariana.
We should have hopped on a call, yo.
I know. You could have explained it to me in very small words.
Beef is starting on stream.
Yeah. Alpha Elves giving us the warning. Don't poke Poko.
Sandstorm, the heart of the drama. In Decentraland.
Always in the middle of the drama, Oscom.
Always. We are life reporters. Okay.
And we're still holding really good pace. Just FYI. So
Yeah.
let's jump into number 2 though. So again, congratulations, Risk, for being the first podium placer in this competition. And Slaterade, if you can hop over to number 2. Somebody who had won the previous or won our very first competition, I believe, Virtual, coming in with the mystical fountain. And I know Slaterade is muted and you all can't hear the audio that is playing in the background for this, but I will say they're basically telling like a story about these cups that are in this fountain and the different powers that each cup gives you. And that is what really got me, I think. But yeah, Mariana, what did you think? Or you've gone first the past 2 times. Tangpoko.
Yeah. Okay, please.
No, please go ahead, Mariana. Go.
No, you go.
Maybe Fractilians starts. You know what?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh,
They were
sorry.
on
I was
mute, so I
dancing.
wasn't
I was
sure.
dancing here in the real metaverse and getting
Oh.
distracted. I missed what you said.
Oh my
What am I supposed to do?
You gotta stop dancing during the voting stream.
Everybody here was like Zoolandering out and rocking to the beats, so I was like distracted.
Oh my god. Actually emoting in real life. Oh my OMG.
Exactly. There's nothing better.
Okay.
Yeah, what do you think of this submission? Look at it. Look at the
No, I
fountain.
really enjoyed the creative, like just how the cups come up and the narration definitely makes it. You know, I think everything in Decentraland is made better whenever there's a story. You know, because then you get to see the heart of the creator, like in their fun, crazy brain, like what is this really about? You know, so I appreciated that a lot. I think that made it really, really sticky in my head. Like when I watched them all once, and then I watched them again. That one definitely was like, huh, you know, like that's cool. So, and of course
Yeah.
the textures, I appreciate it. And I think they did the mesmerizing, the spiral for a reason. They're doing it. They're hypnotizing you. So
True. He's smart. I think Virtual is making a killing in those contests. I mean, soon like Sandstorm contest will be his full-time job, I think.
Well, I mean, he makes a killing in Decentraland too with his amazing wearables, his amazing mythic wearables.
Oh my god.
I mean, I love
this
he's
guy
good.
is printing.
I love the
He found
glam
the-
look
he-
of this fountain.
He found the money fountain in real life. That's just his skills.
We all appreciate Virtual in the game. He's added a touch of glam to all our outfits and now to our environments too. So I loved this one.
Yeah, it's awesome. What did you think, Dcl.Curations? Oh, you did say. Sorry.
Yeah,
I forgot again.
like-
Let's go.
It was really that story when I first saw it, and I was like, oh, okay, it's a fountain. But then when I listened to the audio, I was like, this is the coolest fountain. like
You think can you import audio in Decentraland?
Can I import audio into Decentraland? Yeah, that's what we're doing on stream right now.
I mean, like for assets. Like, can the assets play music themselves?
You can code it. You can code it. Yeah.
Yeah, you can
Cool.
code audio into various scenes, and
Can
you
it be
can
timed to the animation? Like, actually,
Yeah, you can do stuff like that.
that's great. Yeah, that's cool. These are a lot of ideas.
But I think we should. Or did everybody ever? Did all the judges have a chance to go?
Yep.
I think we did.
I concur with all the statements made.
Concur.
You now we're using
Perfect.
fancy legal terms, huh?
Perfect.
Oh my god.
So moving on to the first place winner for builder competition number 3, it is Gabs with the Mouth of Truth. And I think I don't know if they've submitted before. This might have been their first competition.
Yeah, it's the
but-
first.
Amazing.
It is their first competition they
I think so.
participated in.
It is.
So yeah, awesome job on this one. What did you all think?
Loved it. Again,
Yeah.
this was another one that I was like, how will this look like in Decentraland? Because I was kind of like curious, like how will those like blue circly things appear? And when they brought in the animation, like this deployment right here, like that
This
just
looks
like
awesome.
yes.
It looks
Yeah.
even better in Decentraland.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
It
Yes,
does.
I thought the same thing as Mariana. I was like, in Decentraland, wow, it blew my mind. I agree. It looks even better. I always love anything that glows. So, yeah.
I think that was something we mentioned to everybody. Like, by the way, if something glows in Decentraland, it will sell. Like, they're like raccoons with shiny
we like our emissions.
You know, the very cool thing about this is if they agree, this could be open source and you could have this in every single plot, right? I mean, that's an awesome asset to have.
And then you could do donations to the artists. Yes.
Oh my gosh!
Ooh.
Wait, what if this is the
Yes.
wishing well fountain with
Wait,
the
that's
mana?
Everything
genius.
else.
Wait, that's a
Oh my
genius idea,
God.
actually.
Yeah, because
Like
then that
in
way
the
the artists.
assets.
Yes, I love that. Like I can go there and donate, and then the artist
You
gets
can
in.
tip them.
Yes, and I've seen that in places. I've tipped
Oh my
people
God.
before.
It's
I
so
love
good.
my
I love
God,
the way
that's
the
an awesome idea. You're making my brain explode right now.
I like the way the garden grows around it, and I love the double helix. I think they just did
Yes.
everything right.
Double
Yeah.
Yes,
helix.
double helix for sure.
I
The
called it
snake,
the purple
kinda like-
thing.
Yeah, the
Oh, the blue thing, the blue thing, the blue
swirls.
What is it? The staff of like the medical symbol, the two snakes.
The serpent, yeah.
Yeah. There's a name for it, but I never remember. But yeah, it's
I know.
beautiful.
Double helix sound pretty cool.
Yeah, that
So-
sounds a lot more technical.
Yeah.
The double helix
The double spiral glowing
on
thing.
sale on Decentraland.
And I
It's
like
shiny.
the touch. I like the touch of the plants too. It just gives it more of like a little, like a
Yeah.
Yeah.
warm feel, I guess.
I know this modeler. He's awesome at everything he does. He's done a little bit of stuff with me, and I plan to get him to do a lot more stuff because I love his style, and he's just a really great person all around too. I wish he was here. I don't know if he is.
Cool beans. Yeah, if you are, just feel free to hop into Decentraland.
Nice.
And I think that's a good segue to the podium. Let's transition to the live view. So let's look at this. Let's see who actually joined the party here live in Decentraland. I see some people over here. That's very cool. Some very cool skins. Looks good.
Biometa rocking an arm cannon.
Yeah, that's his wearable. It's actually really cool.
And it looks pretty sick. I don't know if we have any of our top 3.
I know we have Risk, but it's only the top 3. So I don't know if that makes sense to make a picture if only one of them is there.
Me and
we could just
Mariana,
make a-
Mariana can stand in number 1 and number 2 spot. Like
There you
I,
go.
on
Of
behalf of
course.
Gabs, I accept this award.
I'm happy to represent the winner.
And here's
like
my
that.
ETH address. I'm happy to submit it to.
Send all Mana donations my way.
Exactly.
Oh my god. There will be wishing well drama. I can tell you this much. Okay, then let's do this. Then Mariana go on the second place, Tangpoko on
I'll
the
take-
first, and then
I'll take
Risk
my
on the
spot
third.
from last time.
Yeah,
Oh.
you just
That's right. Former winner here.
Oh, and we never. So are you officially wanting to be on the judge side, or you think you're gonna hop back into to play?
So you know what? In terms of like time, like I have no time to make these assets. So I think I might stick on the judging side more. I wish I had more time to create, but I don't.
No time to make all
time.
that money.
By the way, I can very much relate with this because in our sandbox contests, I mean, this will sound surreal, but like all our best creators that submitted contests like in the earlier days, they all got hired. Literally, they all got brain drained. So now we have like way less people submitting because everybody's just working full time in this space, which is crazy. Yeah, I mean,
Crazy awesome.
Yeah, it's crazy awesome. It's amazing, and I hope the same thing will happen for Decentraland. And just thinking about it, it's like 30 to 50 people who got hired full time since like the last 6 months, which is amazing.
That is the goal.
Of course. So we have the screenshot. Risk, you gotta look at the camera. What are you doing?
He's doesn't know where he is. He's delirious from winning. It's like Ricky Bobby. I don't know what to do with my hands. Put him by your side, Ricky.
Oh my god. Okay. Well, I think that's a great way to close the show.
Yes, absolutely. Just
Yes, it's been a blast.
a reminder that we will we're still waiting on that update for contest number 5, but we will be making an announcement for the upcoming event for number 4 submissions, so stay tuned for both of those updates. And thank you everybody for joining in Decentraland and hopping on this stream. And Fractilians, Tangpoko, Mariana, Ckbubbles, y'all have been amazing. Thank you so much for being on.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. That was fun.
Thank you so much. You have been awesome guests, and I look forward to having you again on the judge panel in the future.
Woohoo.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.